Hey! Is the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Fair enough.
BBN Network, Jack Frost. How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. Today, we were in court in regards to the Alpo murder. This has been day 6. If there's been another day, I didn't know about it. This has been day 6. We actually have a lot to discuss. A lot. That's one. 2, I want to give a shout out to all of the individuals that work downtown in those buildings that know me. I want to give a shout out to all of the people in the buildings that know me, because sometimes people don't know an individual, then somebody else comes around and lies, and then it kind of fucks everything up, you know? So shout out to all of the people that work in these buildings that know me, because you don't really understand the difference that it makes when people know you and have been around you to observe you and whatnot, and somebody lies on you or tries to defame you, in contrast with when people actually see you every day. So shout out to, sorry about that, I left something open. So shout out to everybody down there that actually works with me or works in those buildings, and every single individual that just treats me like a human being. So that's basically everybody I come in contact with. So shout out to them. That's 1. 2, don't really want to address this, but I will address this. There's a YouTube channel that tries to do court reporting, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna say how good the actual court reporting is or isn't, but they try to do court reporting, and I think they think that we're rivals because they spend an inordinate amount of time trying to sabotage what I'm doing along with other people. We don't do the same thing, fam. Like, we don't do the same thing. There's no reason for you to drive out here to Coney Island and try to ask people questions about me and try to, like, we don't even do the same thing, fam. We don't do the same thing. And for all of you black people that live out here in Coney Island, and these widows came out here and was trying to, drum up lies on me or whatever the case might be, and y'all just fed them lies. Yeah. That's what I mean when I be talking about black people. That specifically. You couldn't go to a white neighborhood and have the same thing happen. No white people are going to let you come lie on people in their neighborhood. Ain't going to happen. With that being said, let's get to the actual show. But black people, we fight in different battles. We fight in different battles. What up, Al? You haven't missed anything yet. We're actually getting to everything. I'm gonna use my micro. I'm gonna use the light on my phone. I'm gonna use the light on my phone. I write with a ink that's real hard to see if somebody is sitting next to me, because I've had previous times that we're in court and people are trying to like look at my notes, and I don't really want anybody to look at my notes. So I'll get to the first witness. So there was a couple of witnesses today. And before I say anything about the witnesses, so there was a couple of witnesses today. That's one. Quite a few. And the majority, a lot of the witnesses, as usual, have been police officers. I just want to be clear on that. A lot of witnesses have been police officers. So I just want y'all to keep that in mind, because when you have a witness, one of the defenses, the part of what the defense is using as a defense is that the police, the NYPD, didn't actually try to solve the crime. Basically, they're saying that for whatever the reason is, however the reason was, the NYPD got information on their client, and then they just took a beeline towards their client, and they didn't care anything about looking to see if there was any other possible shooters. They just got beeline they just put their speculations on their client. They just assumed that's it. So there's no investigation that was done, is what the defense is saying. What the defense is saying, that they looked for the evidence in order to incriminate the client rather than the evidence incriminating their client. That's basically what their defense is, just so we could be clear, so everybody could be on the same page. So they had one officer take the stand. A lot of these guys aren't doing anything but just introducing evidence and just showing, we were there to do the job. So they had this guy get on the stand, and basically he just got on the stand to say that he showed up to the scene and that he took notes, and that, he was doing his job, and they were also trying to save the life of the deceased. So that's what a lot of these officers are testifying for. Basically, that's the reason why a lot of these officers are testifying. So when I'm saying the officers testifying and they're not really saying anything, I didn't leave anything out. I just don't want y'all to think that. In any regard, that was Etienne, I think that's how you say his name. Then Balbi, I don't know, Christian, Balbi, I think that's how you spell his name. He's an officer of 10 years NYPD. You don't need to know all of this other stuff. He was assigned to that section. So basically they spoke about how when you have an area that the police, every station, well, their station specifically has sections, and so you're assigned to certain sections of whatever that precinct might be falling under, and he is assigned to section D, and section D is where this happened at. He says that the data that he collected had to deal with the 32 McCombs Place. That's in Manhattan. 32 McCombs Place. I believe that's right there in Manhattan, next to where it was. And he basically, what he did was he had gotten some video footage from a local building. Also, he looked at the video footage. So about 2:45 that morning, he collected the video. He uploaded it at almost 7 o'clock. He uploaded it to the DD5. If y'all notice, most of what I tell y'all when we are doing these, I tell you more about what the defense, because we already know what the guy is going to say when the prosecutor calls him for the most part. So I go over, give y'all a broad stroke, and then I go into what the defense said, because the defense is going to be the one that's going to actually be asking the probing questions. That's another thing what I mean by when individuals is constantly talking about their opinion this and their opinion that. When you sit in the courtroom and realize that people aren't even allowed to, when you're talking about the truth, people aren't even allowed to discuss their opinions unless they're an expert. I'm going to say that again. When you're in the court of law, you realize that they don't even want people to speak their opinions unless they are an expert. You're not even allowed to speak your opinion in a court of law. That's something that people got to start realizing when y'all listening to these people out here just talking. That's something that you got to start realizing. I want to see how good this reception is real quick. I don't think our reception is really good. Give me 1 second. think they're kicking people. And it's just bad. So I think it's just bad. Give me 1 second. Just want to see how well we're moving over there. And I want to see how the sound is real quick. I think it's just bad. Give me 1 second. It's okay. I'm not even on this Wi-Fi network. Maybe if it could also get bad. I don't get the best reception out here. Mom, I live like at the end of the fucking Coney
Just want
Island.
to see how well we're moving over.
Like where the beach is at. I live all the way on the end. So it's kind of difficult for everything to get through over here.
I'm not even on this Wi-Fi network. Maybe.
I do have a lot of good news. Very soon, I meant to say this already earlier, right when the show started, but very soon our newspaper should be coming back. So very soon you'll see me putting a lot of my notes literally out. Y'all gonna be able to see them for yourselves because pretty soon our newspaper's coming back. Maybe, hopefully, in the next couple of days. I'm not 100% sure, but hopefully I'll have it up and going before next Monday. With that being said, I'm gonna get back to what we're talking about. So just so we can be clear, one of the things that I found interesting is that this particular detective, he made a point, and the prosecution asked him, he made a point to say that they didn't have a suspect up until this point. Like there was no suspect. So what you have to understand is the prosecution is trying to say that the police did not do their job. They just, and this is something a lot of people say, but in order to be able to actually pull it off and exonerate your client is totally different than making an argument. Every argument that's ever been made for any case has been made. So whenever I'm doing a case and I'd be like, well, the defense is saying this. If you say, well, everybody says that, they say that, well, everybody says everything. There aren't new defenses. Like literally, there is like a multiple choice of defenses you can use in any given scenario. So whenever you see me do any kind of commentary and you see somebody say, oh, well, everybody, they're just being an asshole. Because there is no defense that anybody is going to come up with that somebody hasn't used previously. It just isn't. The person's just being an asshole. And they're trying to prevent you from learning something new. That's it. That's all. With that being said, so the detective made a point to say that initially they didn't have a suspect that they were looking at. He said that the timestamps were accurate. They checked them. They compared to dates, timestamps. Everything was accurate. There was no problem with it. This is Exhibit 71. It was published to the jury. Now, this is the video that they showed us. Obviously, I can't show it to you. I don't have it. But the video that they showed to us, I'm just telling you, it was a tiny little corner all the way off into the distance that somebody walked past, and they're saying that that's the suspect. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying that that's not the suspect. I don't have the slightest idea. I was far away, obviously, from where the monitor was or where the video was that they were showing this. Remember, everybody else is way closer than I am. Well, anybody that's watching it that's a part of the trial is closer than I am. The jury, the attorneys, the accused, all of them, the judge, they're all closer than I am. So the next thing that I'm going to say, I guess take it with a grain of salt, but they saw him on a freaking camera, allegedly, they're saying. The dude that was in yellow, also, remember, that's a bright color, though. So, like I said, they probably saw him. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. It was about a block away. It was like on the next block. Now, add that to this is not a 24-hour camera. This particular camera only comes on when somebody close to it goes up on the sensor. So in order to get this dude all the way over there, that only could have happened while the sensor was being set off by somebody that was close to it. At least this is the way that I know it. This is the way they explained it. So this isn't one of the video devices that the video expert said was his preferred one. The one that stays on 24 hours and it doesn't take any breaks. It don't cut nowhere. It's 24 hours. It's a continuous feed. This is not that. I just want to be clear on this. So the guy was in a little tiny corner of the image, like you see how y'all looking at the screen right here. Like, let's say all of this is the video image with the street and then everything, right? It was a little tiny corner up here about that big, where in the background of that there was a dude that was walking. It was far from the camera, but the guy was in yellow. What do you want me to say? In any regard, they published that to the video. They showed that. They published that to the jury. They showed that to the jury. That's how I got a chance to see it. So the defense gets an opportunity. They say everything that they wanted to say. They're saying that the subject was walking on 8th Avenue, 51st Street. And they're saying that was the person was walking in the camera, and they're saying that was the same person from 8th Avenue, basically. That's supposed to be the same person that's in another video, just so we can be clear. And then the cross-examination comes, the defense. Basically, that building that they got the video from was 32 McCombs. It's a residential building. It has a motion capture camera, like I just explained to you. It's not a continuous feed. Also, you cannot see the area that Alpo got shot from this camera. For whatever the reason is, they needed to state that. And basically that there was a still shot, and that still shot came from that they're going to use. That's also evidence, and it came from this particular video. Then there was no more questions. Also, I just want to add, and because this is something that I saw, and a lot of times when I'm in these trials and somebody from the defendant's family will come up and ask questions, because in their mind, their attorney isn't working enough. They're not asking enough questions to this person. They're not asking the right questions to that person, whatever the case might be. And one of the things you have to understand is that when you're with a defense attorney, if that person don't have anything valuable to give you, no information that could help your client, it's probably best to not talk to them. The problem is when the prosecution puts up 8, 9 different people, really have anything to ask questions to. When they put up 8, 9 people, you don't really have no reason to speak to any of these guys. They're in a whole row. That's when you have to go up there and just ask questions. You have to find something to talk about, because you can't just let them send person after person after person and you don't talk to nobody. So you got to pick and choose who you speak to, even if they don't have any information that can help your client. But in the perfect defense situation, you won't have 3 and 4 people go up there that you don't want to talk to. You'd want to talk to every couple of people, every couple of individuals, or have something that will be able to help your client, basically. Obviously, not everybody is going to be able to have information that can help your client. I get asked questions. I haven't been asked any questions from the family of Shaquem Park in this particular situation, but Every other time I've been asked questions by family members while we wait for the jury or whatever the case might be, the judge. And so that's why I felt I say that. So Apple, somebody representative for Apple takes the stand. Basically, they said that they has the hard drive. They have a hard drive. The hard drive has evidence on it, evidence 86A to 86D, and they were all pulled, I'm assuming, from cloud accounts. And 3 of them is actual accounts, and one of the exhibits, exhibit 86D, is just 4 photos. They didn't show us none of the accounts. They didn't show us the 4 photos. I'm not sure why we don't see any of that stuff. I'm assuming they just introducing it into evidence so that the jury will be able to see it in the back, I guess. I don't know. That's it. And then the cross examining was they asked about the Apple bug bounty. For everybody that don't know, every single software developer has to go through it to find bugs. So they don't necessarily only use their guys. It's like best to outsource this shit, actually. So they'll go contact hackers or just, computer tech guys or whatever the case might be, software guys. And they'll have those people try to find the bugs. And if they find bugs, they get paid. So they'll be like, here goes the program, boom. For any bugs you find, depending on how bad or, benign the bug is, we're going to give you X amount of dollars. So they was just letting people know that exists. That's what the defense wanted the jury to hear. Then the Verizon wireless guy gets on. I got a lot to say after these guys real quick. So then the Verizon wireless guy gets on. They basically spoke about how they keep all of the records, but I already told y'all that. They keep records of everything. Everything that your phone experiences, it's been held is a record of it. Just so y'all know, for the people that don't know. So there's different informations on there. There's subscriber information, and there is the what's the other name of that thing? I wrote it somewhere. I don't see it right here though. So there's 2 different type of records that it actually keeps. One is the subscriber information, subscriber record, and then another one is like based on the data or whatever. So basically everything you do is captured on your device, and they can get a hold of it damn near. So if your phone is with you and your phone experiences something, they can find out what the thing is that your phone experienced, basically. Like if you used it for anything, went anywhere, did anything, all of this is collected. I think we should all know that though, because anything you put on the internet, we all know it don't go nowhere. Just saying. With any regards. Then T-Mobile came up. T-Mobile actually had the most exhibits, I believe, attached to it that was standalone exhibits. Verizon had exhibit 90. iPhone had exhibit 86A to 86D. And T-Mobile has exhibit 87, 88, and 89. And all of these people that took the stand, like that's basically their job. Like they're basically, the majority of their job is to go around and take the stand on shit like this. Just so you know. There's a situation going on with the voicemail. I'm not 100% sure what it is yet. But basically, there's a voicemail that happened. More than just cell sites information. More than just that. More than just that. But yeah, obviously cell site information. There's a cell site guy that comes on and he speaks in a minute. The next person I believe that gets on the stand is one of the people that come up next is actually the individual that is gonna just explain the cell site shit, and he just did a whole bunch of explaining. I didn't write all of the stuff down, but I collected it up here. He did a whole bunch of explaining. And I'm gonna say this just so we can be clear. You're basically being tracked at all seconds of the day. Like all seconds of the day, you're being tracked. Just need for people to know this. For people that don't get it. At all times. The only time that only time you are not being tracked is when your cell phone, for whatever the reason is, can't connect to a tower. So there's a voicemail that had happened. So I'm going to explain something real quick so we can talk about this. So there was a telephone call that was made right before and right after the incident. Now, one of the calls that was made after the incident went straight to voicemail because the phone was off. I'm interested in finding out what that was. With that, I don't know if they're gonna let us hear it, but I'm interested to finding out what was on that voicemail. I'm gonna move real far ahead. So this is the bombshell. Allegedly, because of what the DA said in court today, I do not know this to be true, but they were arguing about those violations. So the defense team, the judge is giving the defense team basically almost everything that they're asking for, because the judge is like, yes, the thing that happened, it was wrong. It shouldn't have happened, whatever, right? So the judge is doing a lot to try to, mitigate that issue in order to make it fair. I think the defense team might have kind of went a little bit further, or is trying to push the judge a little bit further than the judge wants to go. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because what the prosecution wants to say to the jury that they can't is that there are multiple witnesses allegedly that ID'd Shaquem Parker. Shaquem Parker. They just don't want to testify. I'm going to say this again. Because when she said this in open court, the defense attorney ain't say nothing. The defense attorney ain't yell, scream. The defense attorney ain't say she was wrong. The defense attorney ain't say nothing. Now, she said this after the jury left. And it's another book. Said this after the jury wasn't in here. The jury didn't have the ability to hear this. Chandra Strain said that. The jury didn't have the opportunity to hear this. She was saying that to Erin, her name is Erin. She's a female. Erin Darcy. So Erin Darcy is busy, on her soapbox because y'all was supposed to give us information y'all didn't give us. Y'all was supposed to give us data y'all didn't give us. What in the hell? We supposed to be over here trying to do the best job we can for our client. If you don't give us the information that you've collected like you're supposed to, how are we supposed to do our job? For everybody that don't get this, even if the government does not plan on using information, if that information is pertinent, if that information is information that could quite possibly exonerate the accused in any way, shape, or form, they're supposed to hand that over. So what ends up happening is freaking Chandra Strain, she got pissed and she said, look, there are witnesses who ID'd him. They just refusing to testify. Now, remember what I've been saying? The way that it looks like this specific investigation is going, and I've been saying this the last couple of days, the way it looks like this investigation is going is that they already was at the end and they're working backwards. That's what it looks like the investigation is going. Now, what the defense is trying to say is that they pleaded on our client and they never even considered anybody else. So now, if they had people, the prosecution, the police, had people that said that guy did it, and then they did the way that you would now investigate, which to a degree would be backwards, because somebody's going to say that guy did it. Well, how do you know that guy did it? Well, you can go check these things over here. Okay, then they're going to go check that evidence, to go check other evidence, to go check other evidence. So you're literally going to be doing it backwards to a degree. Now, I got another thing to say. Remember the other day, they had the police officer that said that he had arrested Danny Parker, and when he arrested Danny Parker and he brought Danny Parker into the precinct, that the FIO, pardon me, wanted to speak to Danny. Do y'all remember I told you that? Hold on, let me go look for this real quick. He said that the FIO wanted to talk to Danny. You know who the FIO is? A FIO is the officer that's in charge of the CIs, of the cooperating informants, of the informants. That's who the FIO is. He's in charge of those dudes. So for Danny Parker to get arrested, and I mean, there's no reason to believe that there's no reason to think that the officer would lie about that, because he didn't even lead that nowhere. He just said that the dude spoke to the FIO and then they moved on from there. That's the one bad thing about when I get to the end of the day and I gotta hold on. I'm gonna go find exactly what this guy said. Oh, it was a ton of days ago. Hold on. Let me hold this day. I wanna keep this page though. Give me 1 second. Here we go. So dude said he arrested Danny Parker. Okay, so this is Michael. Hold on, it's the other dude too. Let me get the other dude. Because the guy says that he took Danny Parker to go talk to the FIO. The FIO is in charge of the CIs. Danny Parker was arrested on December 1st. Had to deal with a car double parked. I never trust when somebody, but you already know this because I told y'all this previously. But I never trust when somebody gets arrested. Like when they picking these people up because they in cars, because that's how they pick up the CI. For everybody that don't know. But I done told you that before. And I'm not saying that Danny Parker's a CI, by the way. I'm not saying anybody is a CI. What I am saying is, every time you see these rappers getting picked up, and you know, they was just driving, they got picked up in the car, and then the next thing you know, some rapper across town gets arrested for some bullshit. Just saying. Remember, I'm writing on super extra light ink for some of this stuff so people can't read over my shoulder. So that's why it's taking me a little bit of extra time. All right, here we go. Here we go. So Officer Reyes said that he arrested Danny Parker, forged instrument that was a license plate, December 1st around 7 o'clock, 2021. He also goes on to say that FIO wanted to speak to Danny. Reyes escorted him to the FIO. The FIO is the dude that's in charge of the freaking snitches. Hold on. The FIO is the dude that's in charge of the snitches. I'm going to see if they got it on so I can put it up on the screen for y'all. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'm going to check it. See if it works. What I mean is, I don't know if this is something that's Googleable. We're going to check and see if it's Googleable real quick. What's up with this internet? I don't know if it's the internet or the fucking computer. All right, hold on. Let's go with law enforcement. All right. What the fuck? Look. FIO is a ranking uniformed officers deployed to each NYPD precinct, where they collect and disseminate criminal intelligence. See, how else are they going to disseminate criminal intelligence? Criminal intelligence. CI. You know what? What up, Kyra? So basically, I'm putting your jump off up there because I know that you still in here. The other people that was commenting, I don't even know if they still in here. And I didn't think about putting those up earlier. I just thought about it shortly ago. Oh, I remember when this happened. I remember when this happened. Those girls got that man beat up. They got that man and themselves beat up. Sorry about that. I was looking at something I was about to show y'all, but that's old. Remember the dude on the train with the 8-ball jacket? Those girls was harassing him. That girl was harassing him. Those girls were harassing him, and then he ended up putting hands on them, and then some dude tried to get involved, and then that dude got beat up too. That's what that was. I didn't know what it was when I first looked at it. I was like, what the fuck? In any regard, so a FIO is basically the guy that talks to the CIs. Your man went and talked to a CI. I don't know what I mean. Your man went and talked to the dude that talks to the CI. That's Danny Parker. So what I believe, I don't want to say what I believe happened. I'm waiting till the whole thing is over. So also, what about those people that kept trying to say that Alpo is still alive? Like, what's up with y'all? Are y'all okay? Because remember, there are a lot of people left this page because I wouldn't agree with their opinion that Alpo is still alive. Because, you know, it's not really me not respecting their opinion. It's me having to change what I think to whatever their opinion is. And if I don't, they're going to harass me until I do. So do y'all remember when they were harassing me about Alpo actually was still alive? Do y'all remember that? I'm curious. Does anybody remember that? So yeah, Alpo is not still alive. He's not still alive. I don't expect any of those people that disrespected me to apologize or to make anything right, because they never do. But yeah, Alpo is not still alive. Yeah, I don't expect any of the people that harassed me trying to say, and I don't expect any of them to apologize or whatever. I don't expect any of that. None of that's ever gonna happen. These is not good people. These is not good people. So nah, I don't ever expect for that to happen. These are not good people. Anything else y'all want to discuss on this? Basically, the big bombshell is allegedly there's witnesses that fingered Shaquem Parker. They just refusing to testify. Also, his brother went and spoke to a FIO. That would lead me to believe that his brother was already an informant before this happened. If this is true. Maybe he was trying to turn him right then and there. Maybe he already wasn't an informant. But I do also remember that same police officer saying pretty clear that Danny was known to the precinct. Yes, they showed the pictures. They showed the pictures, fam. They showed his morgue shots. They showed the pictures. They showed it. It didn't look like Hollywood makeup. So as far as the chin shot, he was hitting the chin. I'm not sure if that was a graze or if the bullet got stuck somewhere in his head. I'm not sure. They didn't really make that clear. But he did get hit in the chin. I believe it went through his arm and hit him in the chin. He had it through and through with the elbow. They showed the video of him at the scene getting worked on. They showed the video of the police pulling him out of the vehicle. Now, I saw a video that the jury didn't get the chance to see. So I saw the entire video. I saw all of the video cam, that the body cam that they were going to use in court. I saw it all because some of it had to be redacted. But I saw it all because they showed the entirety of what they were going to use before when the jury was outside, in order for them to say what had to be cut and what could stay in the video. He 100%. I didn't see that dude. He could have been sitting behind me, all I know, but I didn't see paparazzi. I haven't seen him. I look at his I'll look at his image again to make sure. No, I don't remember seeing this guy. Remember, these dudes don't want to go to the courthouse because they might have warrants or some shit. That's what happened to Krishan Rock, right? No, I haven't seen him. I'm trying to get a gauge how tall he is. I haven't seen him. I seen another dude that's there every single day. He didn't say, he just said he was family. I seen another dude there every single day, religiously. It's not this guy though. But he could have came in and been sitting in the back behind me for all I know. I haven't seen him though. Or he could have came in like one day and I just overlooked him. I didn't see him though. But yeah, they showed the pictures of him in the vehicle. They showed the first body cam of the first officer that walked up to the vehicle and opened the door. The second officer, they showed like a ton of body cams. They showed the body cam with them giving him CPR. They showed the body cam and them putting him on the gurney, putting him into the ambulance. They showed all those body cams. They also showed the video, the still images of his body when he was in the morgue, of this gunshot wounds and everything else. I don't know what more individuals would need in order to believe he's not alive anymore. I don't know what more. But I just want to say this. An individual that they put in witness protection that refuses to stay in witness protection, and it goes right back to the drug game. I don't even think that's somebody that they would fake kill. Like, why would they fake kill that guy? He's going to pop up in a couple of more years, right? Why would you fake kill a dude that's already supposed to be in witness protection but refuses to stay there? And somebody explain that to me. Somebody explain that. I'm here. I'm listening. I would love to know that. How that makes sense. Any sense. Yeah, we can't keep this guy. This guy refuses to stay in witness protection. So let's fake kill him. Why? So he pop up in a couple of more years, and then now you got a whole nother issue that you got to try to get solved? That don't make sense. At least it don't make sense to me. I'm not telling people what to believe and what to do, though. But that doesn't make sense. That makes zero sense. I don't know what to tell you. It makes zero sense to me. But if somebody else thinks that makes sense, please explain it. Really, Virgo? Pull up to the Cash App. They go on the bottom of the screen. I appreciate your comments, even if you don't pull up to the Cash App. I appreciate your comments. But if you appreciate it, pull up to the Cash App. Anybody that appreciates anything that we're doing over here, you can always pull up to the Cash App. These people just be playing with God so much. They just be doing weird shit, fam. I don't even want to show you. I don't even want to show you. Why the hell was that so funny? In any regard, nigga said, me donate, and then laughed. Not a problem. I appreciate you with the comments, though. In any regard, is there anything else y'all would like to ask me about this particular case that we're talking about? And is there anything else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. But if there's anything else y'all want to ask me about this particular case, put it in the chat. Hold on. I believe they expect to be wrapped up by April 11th. By July 11th. I believe they expect to be wrapped up by July 11th. That's the target date I believe that they're shooting for, July 11th. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Shaquem Al says, how was Shaquem's posture during the trial? He's been attentive. A couple of things I'm just not gonna say because I don't want to make it seem like I'm denoting one way or the other, guilt or innocence. But he's been attentive. I saw something. And I wanted to tell y'all, but I can't tell y'all. I guess I can. I'll say this, and I could be wrong, because what I'm about to say is all opinion. All opinion. Yeah, you with them niggas. You with them niggas. Anytime anybody come in and ask me questions like shit like that, I know you with them niggas. All right, so I'm assuming you're just trying to get kicked at some point now. So you're going to start doing all the questions and talking to me in a manner that's going to make it so I got to kick you. All right. I'll wait until it's no other way. No, so I'll wait. What up, Elgin? Salute. If you are appreciating the work we're doing, you could always pull up to the Cash App. If anybody is appreciating the work that I'm doing, they could always pull up to the Cash App. We can use a little bit of support over here. Shakim's posture. There was a thing that happened earlier in the trial. When they put up the photo of Alpo, deceased, the way he looked at the photo, It just said a lot. I don't know if I want to say. I don't know if I want to say. I don't know if I want to say. That's it. That's all I got on this. I want to be mindful. They showed a image of Alpo in the morgue. That's not even the image I'm talking about. There is a clip that they were supposed to take out all of the CPR, all of the work. Like, so it was alluded to that the police did CPR on it. That's not going to be argument, right? But the prosecution had to take out basically a lot of the video of where the police was doing the CPR on them. Because, something witness, whatever, right? So during one of these clips, for a couple of seconds, because they had to remove a lot, they wasn't able to take out one of the clips, anyway, so it stayed in a very short interval. And the look that went on dude's face when that popped up, I could be wrong. This is just my opinion. But it was pride. But hey, what do I know? I could be wrong. But it looked like pride. I was definitely confused initially when I saw it. Like, what the fuck? I've been in court a couple of times. A lot of these dudes, and I'm not saying it applies in this situation, but a lot of these dudes, they can't hide the pride that they feel for whatever the crime it is that they're being accused of. They can't hide it. They can't hide it every second they're in court. Now, I'm not saying that that's this situation at all. It could have just been a moment where he just was thinking something else, that happens too. Like, you was ever thinking something, and then right as you thinking something, somebody walks right into your field of view, and whatever it is, whether it's anger or whether it's like glee, they're thinking that, you're thinking that because you're looking at them when in reality it was just something that was on your mind. You probably don't even see them. You probably see your imagination at that moment. So, it could have went either way, just so we could be clear. It could have been either way. But from the perception that I have of what I saw in my situation, it looked like pride. Once again, I don't know. Don't got the slightest idea. Look like pride though. I was like, what? And remember, this is like the second day of court that this happened on. The first or the second day of court. So this been happened. I'm just now saying something about it. More than anything, finding out the new information that there are multiple different people who have actually fingered him but refused to testify makes it a little bit easier for me to say a couple of things, knowing that that's a thing that the defense didn't even disagree with. With that being said, anything else y'all want to ask? If not, I'm gonna let y'all go, and I'm gonna get up out of here. We're gonna start trying to have more shows at night, though. Probably not late. Probably like this, depending on how it works out. We're gonna probably try to have more shows like this. We have a lot of stuff actually coming. You don't know what's happening on that side of our show, obviously, but over on this side of our show, we've actually been making a lot of moves. I haven't been talking about them because every time I talk about something, I have these people running around trying to sabotage me. So I haven't been talking about anything. You understand? But we are working on a lot of stuff over here. Internet just got in, as you can see. We have a couple of other things that should be coming in the next 30 days or so. And in addition to that, one of the main things that we're going to be bringing back is our newspaper. I'm going to just be the sole writer. I'm not going to, because previously I tried to have other people involved in it. That did not work out well. So I'll be the primary writer on whatever I do, whatever we speak on. I'll be the primary guy. I can just gonna have to cover a couple of different topics every day, which shouldn't be too difficult. With that being said, I love y'all. Everybody just have a beautiful day. Go have a good night. If you got anybody still awake in your household, as you should, it's only 8:30. Go up to them, give them a hug, tell them you love them. You don't never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Give people their flowers while they're still here. Also, I know you're not going to sleep yet, but when you do go to sleep, before you go to sleep and after you wake up, glass of water. It's healthy. And whenever we're helping somebody else be the best them that they can be, in that moment, we being the best us that we can be. I'm out. Like, comment, subscribe, join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.